Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. My apologies for being so late on this evening. It has been a heck of a day. I have had more internet issues again tonight, so I'm fingers crossed that the internet will stay with us for the duration of this podcast. Oh, first of all, welcome to podcast 1114 days in a row. Yes. Tonight we're talking about today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And it is, and it's fun, and it's great, and it's terrific, and I love it. It's been an awesome day. It has been a very super fantastic sparkling day, despite some trials. Yes. Challenges. Those sorts of things. So, as you all know, if you were watching last night, you will notice that there is a 3 to 4 minute gap of blackness on the video on the podcast for last night. That is because my internet dropped the service. It's been a problem we've been having with this service ever since they brought it into existence for us. Well, not brought it into existence, but started using this service. Been having the internet just drop, randomly drops. And they told me that maybe I should increase my speed. I'm like, you're not even giving me the speed I'm supposed to get. And the internet is still dropping. So paying extra money to get faster internet speed ain't going to work right now. But anyway, so I was like, I have had enough. So through to some people on Facebook and some of the groups I belong to, I said, oh, what can I use in the RV full time? Got some great recommendations. And then busy working today, was on my wake up call. Boom, it went out again. So I emailed the manager again of the organization that I use and told him, it's gone out again. This is unacceptable. I was in the middle of a Zoom when this happened. It's my regular morning Zoom. I don't understand. And then they come back and I says, you still haven't told me how many gigabytes I have used so far this month. He comes back and tells me I've used 202 gigabytes. I am like, what? I said, I very rarely, if ever, go over 50. What the heck is going on? I said, something has to be wrong here because the previous devices I have, I can look at them at the end of each day and it tells me what the gigabyte total is sitting at so I can keep track. And I said, there is absolutely no way. I am using the internet less now than I did before. And yet I've got this 202 gigabytes. And I'm like, something, either their system is wrong or the little devices that I had that would show me are wrong. So I'm not sure which, but I was like, that's it. And so had to put up with that today. Then had some good stuff come through, like got my email to tell me what the Flippin' Friday coin is, silver coin is, and it's Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny, 2022 Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny coin. It is looks spectacular. So I got my order in for that one. If you're interested, down in the links of the description below here, there's one that will take you specifically to 2022 Bugs Bunny coin, which is only available to borrow. There's only 15,000 in the entire world that have been minted. And then directly underneath is a 2021 New Zealand coin that was done for the 20th anniversary of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 20 years since Lord of the Rings. And I thought, yeah, that's something I thought back and I thought, well, hang on, because in March of 2002 is when I first took Brad down to New Zealand. We actually went down there for our honeymoon, even though we'd been married since December of 98. And so we always said our honeymoon would be to New Zealand. And so we got to do our honeymoon around New Zealand with my parents. But it was fine. It was perfectly fine. We did the North Island and the South Island. We had a great time. He got to meet the family. In fact, I think he got to meet most of the family. As far as my parents' siblings go and my first cousins go, he got to meet most of them, if not all of them, during that visit. I can't remember. But we had a fantastic time down there. And of course, it was after the first Lord of the Rings movie came out and before the second one was released. And so as we're going around New Zealand, my parents said, oh, yeah, they filmed that movie over there. Well, yeah, there was another place. So basically everywhere we went in New Zealand, he got to see places that Lord of the Rings was filmed. So when the second one came out, we're sitting there and going, you've been there, you've seen that, you've been there, you've been there, you've seen that. But the problem is that the New Zealand weather wasn't cooperating very well, because all of the mountains were always in cloud. So whenever we went to great vantage points where you could get to see fabulous views. Like you're standing at the end of Lake Pukaki, you look down Lake Pukaki, and there's Mount Cook right there in front of you with Mount Tasman on one side, and I can't remember the other one. What's the other one? Can't remember, but it's this beautiful milky blue lake, and it's because of the glacier waters is what's filling the lake, and so it gives it that milky blue-green color. And so we get there, we get out, we look down the end of the lake, goes up, starts going up the mountain, and then there's cloud. I'm like, no, there's clouds. So he never got to see Mount Cook. And then when we got to the North Island, we're driving past Mount Ruapehu, Narahoe, and Tongariro, and again, all in cloud. I am like, you've got to be kidding me. We get to New Plymouth, and Mount Taranaki is there. I spent 6 years in a town underneath that mountain, living close to that mountain, and it's under cloud. Everywhere we went, the mountains were all in cloud. And so by the end of that, and so Brad was sort of like, yeah, I don't think these mountains are real. Maybe they're just photoshopped in. I'm like, yeah, no. no, you don't get it. And that was after the second movie came out. He made that comment. And then, of course, when I took him back to New Zealand in 2006, same thing. Wherever we went, the mountains were in cloud. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And so by that stage, he was truly convinced that the mountains in New Zealand were photoshopped into or CGI'd into Lord of the Rings because he couldn't see them. I said, but they're there. They're behind the clouds. Nope, they're not there. They were photoshopped in. I went, yeah, no. So anyway, so that silver coin is available too, the one with Gandalf. And so that link is in the description below as well. And there was only 10,000 of those minted. So I thought I have to get the Lord of the Rings one because it goes with the one that I have of the ring from Lord of the Rings. So I have a silver coin that's got the... People are going, why? Well, I'm collecting silver as an alternative currency. Was it hedging the bets against inflation or whatever the thingy is? And the reason I do it with these coins is because they have cool pictures on them. I mean, I could just do silver bullion, but that's boring. When I open up the case and I see the Lord of the Rings ring, and now Gandalf's going to be there next to it when that one arrives. Then I've got the Bugs Bunny from Looney Tunes in there. I've got some of the Star Wars ones in there that have come out, and because Brad was a Star Wars fan, I've got the one that says 007 on it, and it's got the gun barrel. If you remember this opening scene of James Bond, they have the opening scene, and then you're looking down the gun barrel, and the bullet goes out, and then you see the blood coming down. And so it's got that spiral there of looking through the gun barrel with 007 written across it. And they had some other ones there, but I didn't like some of the other ones. But I can look at them and they all contain some sort of memory or sentimental value to them because of the picture that's in there. Either it's something Brad enjoyed or something that we enjoyed together or something that I have a passion for. So I like doing the ones with the little thingy mobobs on them because they're really cool. Some of them are really, really cool coins. So the one for Friday is the Bugs Bunny one, and it's only available for 24 hours, and then they take it out of there. So, but there's only 15,000 of those minted, 10,000 of the Gandalf are minted. If you're interested in those, just click the links below. So got that good news today, so I was excited about that. The chat was the chat. That's all I can say is the chat was the chat. And then after that, it was sort of like, okay, I headed off to 45 minutes. Yes. Sorry, my phones are transferring right now because I was sort of like, okay, I'm going to transfer my phones across to the service because it turns out T-Mobile has a 55 plus package for $45 a month with a maximum of 2 phones. And I'm like, this is such an incredible package. It blew my mind what was in this package for $45 a month. You get complete unlimited Wi-Fi connections. I get up to 40 gigs a month on mobile hotspot. What else was on there? Oh, a year's membership with AAA. I kid you not. There's a subscription there for Netflix. They include a Netflix subscription. I thought, well, that's good because I just canceled that the other day, saved myself $15 a month and pay $45 for my phone service, and it gets thrown in there. Awesome. What else was in there? There was and then it even had like weekly free stuff. And I'm like, wow. And it really is, and the price is locked in, but you have to be 55 or older to get this deal. The price is locked in. So I have a regular phone, which has my personal number on that I've had for 25 years. Then I have my office line, which is on a pay-as-you-go phone because I don't use it that much at the moment. But I still needed to keep it. And so that, I also looked and went, wow, between the phone and the pay-as-you-go, plus the internet service, it was just under $200 a month. I'm getting the whole thing, the 2 phone lines, plus home internet service for 90 plus 30, 120 a month for unlimited internet at home, and it's on a device that I can take anywhere. It is a lot larger than what I do have. So it was the internet and 2 phone lines for $120 a month. I'm like, that versus 190 with unreliable service, especially on the internet side, I am so there. So we went down, got everything, we're getting everything set up. They wouldn't give me, I couldn't get the PIN number needed to port the pay-as-you-go phone to my old phone because I thought, well, while I'm here, we'll upgrade my current phone to a new iPhone and move the number from the old phone to the new phone. Then we'll take the pay-as-you-go phone and move that number to my old phone and get in there. Perfect. So we got everything all set up and everything else, but we couldn't get the transfer PIN number from the pay-as-you-go phone to move it over to the other one because they have office hours, short office hours. So I have to call up in the morning and then go back tomorrow night to get that all done. And I kept looking at the clock going, oh, well, there goes my 6 p.m. time for tonight. And I kept worried about Zephy because I left here at 4:35 and got home, we're at 15 minutes, 7:30, about 7:15. Got home about 7:15. So I was gone for almost 3 hours. Oh, she's up at the window. She met me at the door, whining. And she was trying to sniff in the bag to see what was in there. Mind you, there was Chick-fil-A in there, so she did get some Chick-fil-A chicken, and she likes their waffle fries too, so she got some of those as well. Sort of had to bribe her a little bit, but yeah, she's all good now. But we're waiting to go outside and take her for a walk because right now it is blowing out there. There is thunderstorms coming in because as I'm driving home, I can see lightning over on this side. There's lightning over on this side. There's lightning straight ahead, and I'm like, I am driving straight into this. Yes. So there's been some challenges today with different things, and I'm on the internet right now, which is holding up. Hopefully it'll hold up a little longer. But I just wanted to let you know that no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And how I coined that was back when, I've always said that today is always super fantastic and sparkling. I've always said that. But when Brad came home from the hospital almost 5 years ago, I was sitting there next to his bed on the Saturday. He had come home Monday night, and I was sitting there next to his bed on Saturday. And I looked up at the board, and we had a whiteboard up there, and it had "Welcome Home, Brad." And I thought, I need to change that. And I got up there, and I just wrote, no matter what happens, today is always, and always is written in capital letters, super fantastic and sparkling. And drew some little sparkles on there and put my initials there and all of that. And then my daughter-in-law, either later that day or the next day, noticed that I was missing a T out of fantastic. So she had to go, she has carefully inserted a T in there. So that was kind of funny. But that was what I did on Saturday evening. And then, of course, he passed early Sunday morning. And I was sitting there with his body after he had passed while we're waiting for the caregiver, the hospice nurse and the undertakers to come. I'm sitting there with his body, and I looked up at that whiteboard, and all I could see was today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And I looked at that and I went, it is. He's no longer in pain. He is no longer having to fight cancer. His spirit is free. He can move around. He's been reunited with Gus, who had crossed the Rainbow Bridge 18 days beforehand. And I thought, he is just free of a body that was so broken by cancer, his spirit couldn't live there anymore. So I was, even though I was heartbroken that he was gone, I was happy that he was now free of that disease, free of the body that was hindering him so much, not being able to move, not even being able to turn himself. He needed so much help and assistance towards the end there. It was, But I will always remember that no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And that's where the whole phrase came from and the story behind it. And so every time I have a bad day or something starts going wrong, I just remember no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling. Yes, I may have a little tantrum. I am known to have tantrums. I may have a tantrum, or I may sit there and huff and puff for a little bit, and then I suddenly remember today is always super fantastic and sparkling, no matter what happens. And I have a very good friend, and sometimes he seems to sense when I'm having a mood. And we'll get on a call, we'll get on a coaching call, and he'll look at me and go, "How are you doing today?" And I go, "Super fantastic and sparkling." He goes, "Okay, how are you really doing?" And I'll tell him. And he goes, "Okay." And so we'll talk about that. We'll do all the coaching side of it and everything else. And then at the end, he goes, "And how are we doing today?" And I go, "Super fantastic and sparkling." So he's taken me from the mental attitude of no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling, down to deal with whatever it is that is getting me thinking that to get me out of the mood. Help me work through the problem so I can get off it really quick, because if you stay on a problem and stay fixated with it, it's going to start bringing everything else down. So we get to that point where it's where we have to get off it. And so by talking me through things, he can help me get it off. He can help me get it off it during however long we're on the phone or the Zoom call for. And then to get me to reset, he asks me again how I'm doing, and I'm going super fantastic and sparkling with a big smile on my face. The burden has been lifted. The soul feels free. We're back up to where we normally are. We're feeling great. We got off whatever the problem was. We had our breakdown, we had our breakthrough, and we're back to super fantastic and sparkling. So even though if you always put out this positive attitude, there are days you are going to feel down. Don't worry about it. Work through it. How quickly can you get off it and get back on the plan? But I have to say that we've got some awesome guests coming up. I'm about to jump off because I don't know how much longer this internet's going to go. My phone still has 36 minutes. It was kind of funny. We're sitting there and finally it says, "Oh, we're transferring data. It's going to take 3 hours." And we're like, "Oh, crap." And he says, "I'm not going to be here for 3 hours. We close in like an hour and a half." And I'm like, "I'm not staying here 3 hours. I've got a dog to take care of." And so as long as I kept the phone, so we got the bag, put the Wi-Fi stuff in the bag for the internet, put the box in there for the phone, put the phones in there one on top of the other one. And I had to get it out to the car because my phone had come up and said, "We need some juice." It was hungry. It needed some battery charging. And so I plugged it into the charger and it got charged on the way home. And so now they're sitting here next to each other because you've got to keep them within close distance of each other. They were overheating a little bit, sitting one on top of the other one. So I have them sitting close to each other here on the phone stands. But I have to show you, hang on, I'm going to pick this up very carefully so I can keep them together. But look at my new case. Isn't that the coolest case ever? This is my old case. This is my new case. It sparkles. Oh, and you've got, wish I could have videotaped this, but I couldn't because the phones were transferring data. He takes my new phone, and I picked out the cover for it, I always put the screen protector thingy on. And he goes, "Oh, we'll do the screen protector for you right here now." I says, "Great," because I hate doing those things. He says, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We do it all the time." He says, "In fact, it's really cool right now." And he opens up the box. He takes out this tray. He lifts this piece back. He puts the phone into the tray where it fits perfectly because it's the right size phone for the screensaver. He gets the alcohol wipe out and cleans it, gets the other rag out, the other little cleaning rag and cloth, and cleans that. And then he picks up this flappy piece over here, holds onto the base, pulls it up, lays it down, gets his finger, runs it down the middle, and it's got the screensaver on it. And you can see when he runs it down the middle, it just goes, and you can watch all the air come out of there and it's settled down on top of the glass. I'm like, that is so brilliant. And there was only a couple of places he had to actually push the air out. But all he did was just lay this screensaver on top of this thing with the help of this flap. And then once it was on, and then ran his finger down the middle. And you know how it goes darker when it's when you put the screensaver on? That darkness just went out to the side from where he had touched it down the middle. Oh, I need to. And I'm like, damn it, I can't videotape it. It's already done. And my phone is transferring, so I can't use it. It was hilarious. But I was just like, that is so cool. I said, considering the fact where it used to come from. He says, yeah. He said, remember the days, he's been doing this for a long time. And he remembers the days where you'd have to you get the phone, you get a sheet, and you literally had to like cut this line, cut that line, and it should fit. And I said, yeah. And then you had to worry about the fact that it didn't have rounded corners, it had sharp corners, and the phones had round corners, and all. And he's like, yeah. I said, wow, that is so cool. But it was just really, and then there was just a couple of places he had to rub it a little bit to get rid of the air pockets, but it was a perfect screensaver thing. And then I noticed one of the other girls doing one a little later on. I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything. My phones are transferring. So we still have one number to transfer across to the old phone. But this only has 32 minutes now left to go on the transfer. And he says nothing will be taken off the old phone. It will not get wiped out. I'm like, thank goodness for that, because we would have problems if that was going to happen. And everything should get transferred over to the other one. So we'll be doing some playing tonight. And then tomorrow I will go over and we will get the number from the pay-as-you-go phone moved to my old phone, so it'll be set up completely. And then I can have my business line and my personal line back together again, and it will all be good. So excited. And I can't set up my new internet until the phones are finished transferring, because I have to download the app onto the phone to help me set up the internet inside the RV. And apparently he says when you get to set it up and everything else, it will tell you to move it to different places, like up high, down low. And I'm like thinking, well, that's going to be fun in an RV, because I only have so many places I can go high, and for it to get the best signal for you. And so I'm kind of excited to get that set up, but I still have 31 minutes to go now and a dog to walk. So I think I'm going to go look outside, see what the weather's like, and we're going to do a quick evening walk this evening for Zeffie so she can do her thing, and that's it for the evening. So I apologize for being a mess here, everywhere, and everything else, but sort of like I am exhausted right now. I still have the dog to walk. I've got the phones doing their thing right now. And all I want to do is all I really want to do is crawl into bed. That's all I really want to do right now. Actually, I'd like to take a cold shower and then crawl into bed. But I think I always have to empty my tanks tonight. Oh, and that was the other thing that happened this morning. When I left to go and walk Zeffie, my neighbor was out walking. He's the couple next to me are really, really nice people. And they have this beautiful Pomeranian called Harley, and the sweetest little dog. And she tolerates Zeffie. He tolerates Zeffie. Zeffie's sort of like indifferent. Zeffie kind of tries to engage him, but Harley's been having some health issues lately, and they found out he had this cancer tumor in his rear end that interfered with the way the plumbing is supposed to work and all of that. And so they've been to see a specialist on Tuesday and got him on a couple of rounds of chemo, and then they're going to have a look to see if it shrinks the tumor so they can then go in and operate. And he comes out today, and he's going across to get his vehicle, and he turns around and says, I've got to go do it. And I looked at him and I said, excuse me. He says, I have to go do it. And I knew immediately what he meant. He says, Harley can't even get up, can't walk, can't do anything. So the neighbors today had to go put down their 10-year-old Pomeranian today. So it's like, oh my gosh. And they lost their other dog. Their other dog passed away about a year ago. So, they've had 2 dogs go within a year. And I know how heart-wrenching that is. So that was how I started the day off before I even got on my morning call. That was when we went out for our walk this morning. So, yeah. But anyway, go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, what's left of it. I'm going to go take a puppy for a walk. And then by the time we get back from the walk, maybe the phone transfers will be finished and I can start playing with the new phone and figuring it out. But, they're doing fine right now. They're doing all their charging things. They're on phone stands to keep the air circulating around them because they were getting a little hot there on the back sides of them where they were touching. So, the internet's lasted. And so we'll come back and, worry about I want to get the internet set up tonight so that I have it first thing in the morning. I don't have to rely on the other one. So anyway, always remember, no matter what happens today is always super fantastic and sparkling. It's time to get out there and live your best life now. I'm working with some amazing people right now to book them times to come on so they can share their knowledge with you. I was speaking with one of them tonight, and she's giving me all this info. I go, okay, I don't see you in my cat. Have we set a date yet? She's like, no, we haven't. I'm like, oh, okay. But I have her headshot, I have her bio. We've got like 5 different topics we could talk about. So she might have to be a repeat guest for now. But yeah, so we're going to get her booked in as soon as we can and get her to come on. And we actually have a lot in common without realizing it. I only met her recently, but we have a lot in common on some things. And so I'm excited to bring her on. There's another couple of people I'm talking with right now. We just got to get them booked into get their calendars, get them booked on the calendar. And I have some other amazing people who are a bit busy right now to book anything, but I've got down to when to follow up with them in September to get them on the calendar then. So we've got all sorts of fun things coming up for you guys. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things like from investment, creating legacy, wealth, to leave behind for future generations to come, and living your best life now. It could be, traveling to your dream destinations. It could be, we've talked about different things over the time. There's going to be your health is going to be a regular thing we're going to talk about each month, at least once a month. We're going to be talking about dream destinations, different packages and things that are going to be coming up. What else are we going to be talking about? Oh, there's just a lot of different aspects within life that can help, that with a few tweaks and changes, you can start living your best life now. So it's all about living your best life now before you take a dirt nap. Oh, and if you get a chance, Miss Kathy Baxter, she had me just about peeing myself today laughing at the video she did for Zeffy. If you haven't seen it, it is on my Facebook page. And if you belong to the Zeffy's Great Adventures group, it is posted in there. I have no words. It's hours later since she did that video, and I still have no words for that. But it was hilarious. It was absolutely, I could not stop laughing. So it's been, like I said, it's been a very roller coaster day today and everything else. And but yeah, that video, Kathy Baxter, if you're still watching me, I have no words for that. I have no words. It is, if you can get a chance to go watch it, it's on my Facebook page. Please go watch it. It is absolutely hilarious. In fact, it may even be in my shorts by now too, because I do get those ones moved to YouTube. So I'm going to go see if it's on YouTube, but it'll be there in the shorts. But for today's one, and if it is on the shorts, I'm going to see how I can get onto TikTok or something like that, and onto Instagram as well, because it is hilarious. Like I said, I have no words. I have none. I don't know what goes on in Kathy's brain. If it's anything like mine, that's a scary place to be. But yeah, she left me speechless today with this video. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I'm going to go. Oh, we're rocking a little bit. Am I rocking? No, I'm sitting pretty steady on the thing, yet the whole RV is doing this. So we're going to go. I'm going to go see how far away the thunder and lightning is, and see if I can find a weather radar somewhere, since I normally do it on my phone, but I'm going to have to go to a website and find that. But we're out of here. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow night, hopefully at 6 o'clock. I do have to leave here at 4 o'clock to go back to the T-Mobile store to get my other phone number ported over. But that should not take as long as what happened today, because we were setting up accounts and transfers and all that sort of stuff. So tomorrow should be pretty easy, because there's nothing on the old phone that I have to transfer across. It's just porting the number has to be done. So we should be in and out pretty quickly, and back here. So we should be here by 6 o'clock. If not, we'll be aiming for 7 o'clock. But anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and I'll give you an update on everything tomorrow. Go have, and we'll catch you then. Hei konera.